he was just, and then to do Roots. Conta! Conta Kitty! Conta! Conta Kitty! So yeah, like that was, he was the stuff, man. LeVar Burton. Man, he was dope. And maybe, I don't even know how he was trained. I didn't look up anything. I just know that it's just the whole nostalgia of what presented itself is to me as a kid. That's why some things people do, I'm just like not offended, because it's almost like, do you know what we was like? You know how it was before all this other stuff started happening. Like, do you know? Like when somebody say, well, they used to do something about the food stamps. That's what broke us up. No, it wouldn't. Your mama broke y'all up, and then she used that as an excuse to keep the man out the house. That's what that was. Like, that wasn't nobody else. That wasn't society. Society didn't do that. Your mama did that. Like, your mama made that excuse. Like, because everybody else's mama wasn't doing the same thing your mama was doing. So it's like, you know, like, all these mishapped informations that we get. I remember, like, I like going outside and had a play mama, and she'd take care of me, and she'll fight for you and all that different stuff. I love that. I liked walking to the penny candy store and all. Like, I love that. Like, just going to the candy store and getting all this stuff. All the stuff that happened before drugs was like introduced in the community. And so, like, you cannot, I don't know, like, I say, and it wasn't mixed. Like, it wasn't a mixed situation. Like, I only saw white people on TV, and when we went to Fairview Heights, like, that was it. And that was it for me. And sometimes in my family, they had, like, white friends and stuff. Like, my mom, like, when we went to go stay at hotels and stuff, like, we'll see white people there, you know, nobody else, because in our area, it was just, like, black and white. What else? Like, we used to play it tag. We couldn't leave the street. You have bikes. You have your friends over. Like, outside, everybody knew everybody. They knew everybody's business. They be talking about each other in the kitchen. All that different stuff. So that's just how it was. Like, that was just life. That was life before drugs. Life before drugs. But then when drugs happened, and I think that's when it was a turning point for me, because everything wasn't so bad until that's when, like, the gang shit hit and the drugs hit, and you like, dang, this is something to see. Like, because, like I say, we used to be able to leave our campus and walk to go get rice and chicken and all this different stuff. But then when drugs hit, all of a sudden you got the person that you knew is just a person who would be walking past you to get rice. You knew him because we was all up in East St. Louis walking, you know, and talking, and people just knew each other, you know. So you knew his name. You didn't really know him, but you knew his name, and he lived down on another street. So y'all didn't know the people from his street, really, for real. Unless your mama told him y'all grew up together, or they came by to see, you know. So to see a person go from being a full human to a crackhead, that's some real shit, you know. That's some traumatic shit for kids to go through. And I think that's another reason why I don't do drugs. I mean, it's just like, I can't, to watch a person debilitate like that. Like, you see this man who's strong and black standing up straight and being debilitated the next time you see him. The next time I saw strong black people was in Washington, D.C. I had never seen so many people with, like, so many black people with briefcases and, like, and suits on and stuff, and high heels walking the street. It was just like the opposite of New York. Like, New York, you saw all these different types of people, because in New York, it was like you could be different and nobody had a judgment. Because in New York, I was different and nobody had a judgment. But DC was just like black. It was like so black to me. I had never seen that many, and it's so crazy. Growing up in a black neighborhood, I had never seen so many professional black people in my life. That was like something, I thought I would see that in Atlanta, you know, but when we went to Atlanta, it was cold, so I didn't know. But when I was in DC and I was still young, I was like, man, look at these people. They just covered the streets, you know, with just, man, it was just gorgeous to me. I was in, for real, I was in shock. I was in complete shock. So, I don't know. I guess that's like just my whole thing. I like the influence of our people, like the good influences, but I remember the things that kind of just like switched for me, going to funerals. I remember one year we just went to funeral after funeral after funeral, and it's just like, man, it's like I was 8, it's just like a whole different type of, I don't know, it was just a whole change. Everything changed. Life changed. Ideas changed. We couldn't go outside no more at one point because it was a serial killer in East St. Louis or whatever. So it was just a lot of shit just going on, just a lot. So, but before that, when everything was cool, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I was with that. I was with that. What else? Oh, Dave Chappelle. So, I don't know. Dave Chappelle don't make me want to cry. I be crying from laughing so fucking hard. Like, I believe the Charlie Murphy stories, man, that is like the best shit. And I know that it has a lot to do with Rick James. I don't think I could last with Rick James. I'm serious. Like, I would have... It's only so many times you can hear the word bitch. I mean, for real. Like, you motherfucker, fuck. Oh, man, yeah. But anyway, Rick James, man, he is funny as, I don't know. It's just a whole situation. Like, every time somebody tells a story about this man, he be having me fucking weak. But, I don't know. I just really, really enjoy me some Dave Chappelle. Like, that shit was funny to me. I don't know. It was pretty cool. So I haven't listened to his special eye opening too, because when you talk about how to break a hoe, or how to break a woman down or something like that, and you like, man, for real, like that shit crazy. That is some crazy shit. So I don't know. That's deep right there. Just to even have a book like that or have some shit like that out there, for women, for men to do that. That shit is fucked up. That's some patriarchal bullshit. I'm just tired. Like, man, it's like, I don't know. Just thinking about that shit. And the shit that we go through and, like, just men on their bullshit and all the dumb shit that expecting us to think about and see. You gotta stop all that shit early. For real. I ain't even gonna lie. You gotta stop that shit early. Early than a motherfucker. Early. Soon as he start acting like he gonna say some crazy, you better stop. Shut it up. Nah, I mean, for real though, you gotta talk to him. I mean, you ain't gotta talk to him like that, but you gotta talk to the boys, the girls too, but I don't think as much as boys, cause that shit in them. That shit is in them. I'm serious. Like, it ain't even no working with kids, that shit in them. It's in their DNA. They shit is in their DNA. They born with it. You hear me? You can think your son sweet. Keep on thinking. Wait till he start lying to your ass. You gonna be like, oh, this motherfucker think I'm crazy. He acting like Paul. This motherfucker think I'm crazy. No, you did it. You have to really get them. You did it. You gotta make them say they did it. And make them understand why they did it, because they will do that. They will lie. They'll sit there. I didn't know. I was looking. No, you knew. You knew exactly what the fuck you was doing. You knew it. My son just on TikTok putting up finger signs, y'all. Finger signs. He's like, Mom, I'm sorry. Cool. Like, he just put up finger signs. Like, it ain't like it's just naturally good to put up a fucking finger sign at the end of a video. He just like he'll roll his hand and he doing all kind of shit. Oh my God, putting up fucking finger signs. Mom, see, you don't need to break nobody down like that though. In order to make them understand what's going on. He's like, Mom. Then he was in the room doing another. He rolled his hand. I was like, you put. He put up a whole nother fucking finger. Like, oh shit. Like when is he gonna stop? When is he gonna learn? Jesus Christ. But anyways, like, you just, I don't know, you gotta stop them. Because if you don't stop them, they gonna grow up and think that shit okay. Don't, I don't know. Like, and it's not a lot. Like, I don't know. I have made it to that point where, I haven't made it to that point where it's like, I don't know. The anger is the hardest part to deal with for me. The anger of the man, the anger of the black man. Because I'm pretty sure he not the only man that would have anger like that. Like, he not the only one. And I was reading this thing where it was like, some black women will support anything. Some black women will support so many things, and some black women won't. It just depends on how much you can take. Like, what you've been through and how your life has been. And if you can't support it as a black woman, that's okay. I was reading something by somebody, and they was talking about how Don Cheadle, he was supporting trans children. If you never work with trans kids, you won't know. That's the whole situation. And so I'm looking at this and I'm hoping that this person gets the opportunity to work with trans kids, because trans kids are gay children. And listen to their parents talk to them. You can't talk at that moment, because that person that's raising them has this internal hatred towards them, because we've been raised as a society to think that being gay is wrong. They've been taught in church that being gay is wrong. Every time something come on TV, most likely it's going to be something negative about them being gay. So you sit here and you like, okay, why did Jussie Smollett lie? Because he even, it's like, at some point, sometimes they have to cover it up for years. Some kids do. I don't know if that was his case, but sometimes it happens, like, for real. And with that, you create this person who has lies. Okay, so this person tells lies, and you know that the person tells lies. But sometimes, like I said, those lies become big ideas. Like, how does he feel that? The other thing is, it's like, are we being too hard on him? As a community, yes, we gonna roast his ass. Like, it's like, they gonna talk about him. But at the same time, why did he do it? What was his reasoning? Was he that desperate? And what made him that desperate? Because all of us have gone through desperate measures for some desperate things. And don't act like you haven't. Like, that's where we start to get out of control. Like, if you start admitting some desperate shit that you done, you'll be embarrassed too. Like, man, I did that desperate, I did this, I touched, oh my God, I don't even want to, okay, I can go back, because I make a decision and be like, bitch, guess what, you gonna live, I don't give a fuck if it come out right or if it come out wrong, you did this shit, you made that motherfucking decision, that your black ass gonna live with it. So it's like, that's what it is. It's like, it's just having a desperate moment of how long it took him. Think about how long it took him to get on the syndicated show. All the shows that he did before that. Is this what he really wants in life? If that's what he really wants in life, then how does that happen? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, I don't know, just desperate stuff. Just desperate. What else? I don't know. What else happened? Oh, so anyway, back to Dave Chappelle. So, I don't know. I just feel like Dave Chappelle just opened up to this whole, again, after Def Jam, just like this whole thing of us being able to just like laugh at ourselves again. I mean, some of that shit, man, you like, this nigga crazy. Like, how the fuck he come up with this shit? The blind man in the Ku Klux Klan, that shit was crazy. That was my other one. I mean, sometimes, y'all, I be on the fucking flow. Like, it would just be, like, so funny. Like, he was just like, oh, my God, I could laugh for, like, an hour, man. Like, this dude is, like, he is nuts. Like, who the fuck comes up with, And it's like, no, you know, it's Dave Chappelle. It's Dave Chappelle, bitch. But